morning and welcome into Tuesday, February 11th. I'm your host, Dave Smith, here on Hoops Talk with Dave. We've got a bunch of great basketball games from last night to recap, as well as a great slate tonight to preview. Starting in the NBA, Luka Doncic making his debut for the Los Angeles Lakers as they win 132-113. As Luka had 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists, only playing 24 minutes. Didn't have to play a lot, though. The Lakers pulled ahead in this one pretty early, ran away with it by halftime, and it was over by the time the third quarter began. Great one for the Lakers there, winning 132-113. In our League Pass game of the night, Boston on the road at Miami, taking care of business. Tatum scoring 33 points, 21 of them coming in the third quarter. Celtics beat Heat 103-85. And looking at tonight's games in the NBA, a doubleheader on TNT. New York traveling to Indiana to take on the Pacers. The Knicks, a 1.5-point road favorite. This one at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT. And our second game of the TNT doubleheader, the Grizzlies on the road at the Phoenix Suns. The Grizz, 4.5-point road favorites in Phoenix. That one at 10 o'clock Eastern on TNT. Last night, the two ranked teams playing, taking care of business. Number 6, Houston hosting Baylor, winning 76-65. LJ Cryer scoring 14 points to lead the Houston Cougars in scoring, beating Baylor 76-65. And over in the ACC, this was my game of the night in college basketball. Clemson hosting North Carolina. Massive opportunity for North Carolina to get a big quad one win. They needed it on the bubble. They didn't get it. Clemson dominated this one, winning by 20 points, 85-65. Clemson establishing themselves, in my eyes, if not the second best team in the ACC, definitely top 3. You've got Duke, Louisville, and Clemson, I think, are clearly the top 3 teams in the ACC. Clemson up to number 23 in the rankings. They'll be a really fun team to watch as March gets closer. And moving into some of tonight's games, the game of the night in Lexington, Kentucky. Tennessee rolling into town at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. The Wildcats of Kentucky hosting number 5 Tennessee. Tennessee, a 2.5-point road favorite. This one, once again, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. The second best game of the night, Purdue at Michigan. A great Big Ten showdown here on Peacock at 7 p.m. Eastern. Michigan sits as a 2.5-point favorite. Another great one here in the Big 12. Red hot Kansas State, the Wildcats hosting Arizona, also the Wildcats. Arizona, a 3.5-point road favorite at Kansas State. This one at 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. Moving now to our final top 25 showdown. Number 3, the Florida Gators coming off a massive win in Auburn Arena at Auburn, handing Auburn their first SEC loss. The Gators now roll into Starkville, Mississippi to take on number 22, Mississippi State. The Gators, a 1.5-point road favorite. This one, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Alabama and Auburn now ranked number 1 and number 2. Auburn number 1, Alabama number 2. They've got 2 road tests here for you. Auburn on the road at Vanderbilt, 8.5-point favorites. This one, 7 o'clock Eastern on SEC Network. And then at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern on ESPN, Alabama on the road at Texas. Alabama, a 2.5-point road favorite. Both of those teams set up for some trap games potentially before their matchup this weekend. And the final game of the night I want to hit on really quickly at 9 o'clock Eastern on CBS Sports Network, the UConn Huskies rolling in to take on the number 24 Creighton Blue Jays. Creighton, a 3.5-point home favorite over UConn. This is a really fun one to watch here. Definitely a gut check moment for the Huskies of UConn. Should be a very interesting performance. See what Dan Hurley does with his squad. That one, once again, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network. And that will do it for today's episode of Hoops Talk with Dave. A brief episode today, but we've got a great slate of games tonight. Be sure to tune in. Check them all out. A great night of college basketball as it is fully basketball season now. You're going to want to watch these matchups. I'm your host, Dave Smith. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning to recap all the action.